We have the first threat of the tropical system this past week. Lucky for us, Tropical Storm Cindy was not a big storm, and what there was of it made landfall to our east. It was enough, however, to get the Harris County Emergency Operations Center up and running to keep tabs on what Cindy might do. It's something the center will be doing anytime there's a threat to our region, and provides a way to coordinate information about whatever the threat is and how to respond effectively. Joining me to talk about the challenge of keeping more than 4 million people safe during times of crisis and what we all need to do is Francisco Sanchez Jr., the Public Information Officer for the Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. What would you hope that people need to do to get ready? I mean, this is a long season, so there's a lot to be done.
We're just at the start of it, and we already had 2 named storms. I think people sometimes get a little complacent at the start, think, oh, I have to the fall or September or the busier time of hurricane season to get ready. But the reality is we're in hurricane season now. We dodged a bullet with Cindy. We got lucky, but it's also a good reminder that if you're not ready, go out this weekend and take care of those readiness supplies and those plans.
How far out does the system have to be before you and the center start getting ramped up?
Anytime there is a storm or a potential for a storm in the Gulf, we start gearing up just to be on the safe side. Sometimes we have the opportunity to watch it in the open Atlantic and come this way, and that's plenty of time. But sometimes when they spin up in the Gulf or getting close to that point, we have to watch that pretty closely, because those are difficult storms to forecast, to predict, and those implications get on us pretty quick.
And because Cindy was not a major impact on us, but was it a chance for you to kind of get the cobwebs out? I mean, really, to really ramp up and see what you need to do, kind of make sure that you have everything in order?
It was a good opportunity for us. The last time we had a real tropical threat to our region was Hurricane Ike, and that was 9 years ago. We practice and we plan throughout the year. Plans are revised, but that's been quite a while. It's going on 10 years almost. We've had new staff. Our emergency management partners have new staff. There are new people to the region. So it was a really good time to test those plans, put people in a real world scenario that they hadn't been in a while, and really do that in a real life scenario.
We talk about people needing to be ready for hurricane season. It seems to me that there's certain things that people need to do all year round to be ready for all kinds of emergencies. And your center is really one of those kind of centers that takes care of all kinds of emergencies. But as we see the chance for tropical storms to come through, what's the biggest challenge in getting people to use common sense?
One of the biggest challenges is complacency. Again, it's been a while since we had one, and we have more than 1 million people that are new to this region, many of which have not experienced a hurricane before. So really getting them to understand how it's different than some of the disasters that they faced where they came from, and trying to change the mindset of preparing not if a tropical storm or a hurricane comes, but that it will come eventually.
Do you have an off season? And if so, what do you do during that off season?
I wish we had an off season, but we don't. We've got Harris County 1,777 square miles. We have to be ready and to plan to prepare for flooding, ice storms. We've had more ice storms since Hurricane Ike than any tropical threat, whether it's a pandemic or health issue like Zika. We work with our public health partners. Hazardous material spills of those things coming to and from the port and traversing through the Houston area roadway system. So we have to be ready for just about anything, and we do that year round.
We had a lot of people who were trolling us online and that sort of thing as a result of Cindy, and all ahead of that we were telling people the biggest threat's going to be to the east. We don't really expect a whole lot for us. What would you like the meteorologists to be saying when we have a storm in the Gulf? Would you like for them to just state the facts, which we try to do, but you guys got to get ready no matter what?
Stating the facts and just portraying the forecast as accurate as it is, but we also have to understand as a public that forecast changes from hour to hour, and unfortunately tropical storms and hurricanes or even flooding events don't go by the forecast. They're very finicky. Sometimes they're difficult to forecast, and that's just a reality of the scenario. Our job is to be ready. When we saw the major flooding events of the past 2 years, Harris County was the first emergency operations center to activate. We would rather be proactive. That's our job. To make sure that we're ahead of the storm. Our job is to think 12, 24, 36 hours in advance, and to make sure our first responders have the resources they need, our public has the information, and our decision makers know the best and worst case scenario so we can act accordingly.
I think about the tax day floods and those kinds of big events that you had to really get ramped up pretty quickly for. That was a major test of your skill as an organization, as an emergency operations center. How did you do on that, do you think? And also, we have to deal with the threat of terrorism and other kinds of things, which we don't want to think about, but that's one of the things you have to be ready for as well.
Right, and I think in terms of terrorism or sort of man-made incidents, we just had the Super Bowl, and when we activated our Emergency Operations Center, we had about 60 state, local, and federal partners. Through the Regional Joint Information Center, we worked with the Super Bowl host committee to make sure the transportation information was there, security information that was there. In terms of the Emergency Operations Center and how we did for the flooding events, I think we did very well, but that's not just speaking for credit for Harris County. It's really a regional collaborative approach. In the Emergency Operations Center, we've got fire service, law enforcement, flood control, the weather service, public health, transportation partners. We have to have the right folks in that room to have all the information and make sure we're all going in the same direction. Know what's the best case scenario, what's the worst case scenario, and to prepare accordingly. And if everything goes the way I want it to go, all those steps will go in place. We will be ready, and the weather system will miss us. If we could do that every time, I'd be happy.
The good thing about all of that is that we are in direct contact with you throughout those processes, and we have an opportunity to give the information you provide to all the viewers who are out there, and that's a great way for people to keep in track of what they need to do going forward.
Right, and it's a partnership that we value, and the media comes over, we make sure from those live shots to the call-ins with folks like you, it's really a collaborative effort to make sure the public has the information because it changes very quickly, and y'all are great partners in helping us get that word out.
Francisco Sanchez Jr., always good to see you, and I wish you good luck going forward, and I hope that you are bored to death.
And I thank you for that. We'll cross our fingers.
Thank you very much.